So Miss Lively has just subpoenaed 14 unique individuals in this ongoing lawsuit. So something that is so fascinating about this case and something that I think everyone needs to be aware of is there's two things happening simultaneously. There is the public relations war in the court of public opinion, and then there's also the legal battle happening simultaneously.
The latest chess move in this very long game involves the basement manager's publicist, Leslie Sloan. Some of you remember that Justin Baldoni is not just suing the Cherokee Queen, self-proclaimed, but he's also suing her publicist. And as I've already told you, Leslie Sloan, her longtime rep, has filed a motion to be dismissed from this lawsuit.
Justin Baldoni war with Blake Lively, which seems to me, initially I felt quite sorry for Blake Lively, then I've been reading all the messages between them all, and which he's been putting out, obviously, and it just seems like a pair of absolute weapons-grade narcissists. Now, spray gunning each other with as much dirt as they can possibly do, having spewed lovey-dovey stuff to each other for months on end.
Today, we have an explosive story featuring the ever-charismatic Ryan Reynolds, his wife Blake Lively, and none other than actor-director Justin Baldoni. Did Ryan Reynolds really issue a savage warning to Baldoni over some shocking claims about Blake's late father? You won't believe what's been going on behind the scenes. Grab your popcorn, and let's dive right in.
Justin has been destroyed by this. The company, the individuals at the company, this is a really serious thing.
Justin Baldoni's lawyer is addressing any possibility of Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni settling before trial. Amid the ongoing legal battle between Justin and Blake, the actor's lawyer Brian Friedman shares during the March 12th episode of the Town podcast the odds of the case being settled before going to trial in May of 2026.
Justin has been destroyed by this. The company, the individuals at the company, this is a really serious thing. And in this day and age, the only way that you can truly get back and is to prove your innocence. It's not be found guilty. It's to prove your innocence. And that's what we're actively working to. So that may only be able to be done in a courtroom.
It all started when reports surfaced claiming that Justin Baldoni allegedly made disrespectful remarks about Blake Lively's late father, Ernie Lively. Some sources suggest that these comments were made during a casual conversation, while others say they happened on a podcast appearance. Either way, it didn't take long for the news to spread like wildfire across social media, with fans reacting in shock and outrage.
Uh-oh. Boner alert.
But here's where things take a strange turn. Some sources claim Baldoni wasn't merely making casual remarks about Ernie Lively. Instead, he allegedly claimed that he could communicate with Blake's late father, a statement that left Blake completely unsettled. Baldoni, who is a well-known follower of the Baha'i faith, reportedly insisted that he had the ability to reach Ernie from beyond the grave. This claim not only disturbed Blake but also led to growing tensions between her and Baldoni on the set of It Ends With Us, the film they are currently working on together.
This isn't a film about domestic violence. It's a film that covers a lot of things, from first love to being an entrepreneur and opening your first shop and having all your dreams come true, to falling in love, to finding a new best friend, to domestic violence, which you don't hear all of those things in one place. But, this isn't a story, this isn't a love story, this isn't a love triangle. This isn't a story, this isn't a love story, this isn't a love triangle, and this isn't a film about domestic violence, and this isn't a film about domestic violence, and this isn't a film about domestic violence. It's a film about a woman, because she's not defined by anything any man did to her, whether positive or negative.
Many believe that Blake has every right to be upset, considering how deeply she cherished her relationship with her father. Losing a loved one is painful enough, but having someone claim supernatural connections to them, especially in a professional setting, can be extremely distressing. Legal documents filed by Blake in December indicate that the situation has caused her significant emotional distress, anxiety, and even physical pain.
Now, Justin Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, has said his client is devastated financially and emotionally, as one could assume. Now, a source exclusive to Us Weekly that knows Blake Lively allegedly says Blake Lively is very stressed, upset, and just wants all this to be done, even though she is the one that started this fire. Meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds is more confident that the truth will prevail in court and has been consoling his wife. Although I think Ryan Reynolds needs just as much consoling as Blake at this point.
However, there's another side to the story that complicates matters. What if the rumors are true that Blake attempted to hijack It Ends With Us from Justin Baldoni? Insiders have whispered that tensions between the two have been building for months, with Blake allegedly pushing for more creative control over the project, clashing with Baldoni's directorial vision. Some speculate that her frustration may not solely stem from the alleged comments about her father but also from a broader power struggle over the film's direction. If that's the case, this feud isn't just about personal grief, it's about control, creative differences, and an industry power play that has now spiraled into a legal battlefield.
Yeah, I mean, as for the drama between them, like, if what he's alleging is true, she sounds like an absolute nightmare. I mean, I get the impression that it's like a prima donna that's come in, tried to take over and hijack the movie, and when she didn't get her way, she brought her much richer, more successful and powerful husband in to lay down the law. And the result was a disjointed production that had all kinds of problems behind the scenes. And Baldoni, by the sounds of things, got completely shafted in this one. So if all of this is true, he's 100% justified in suing her.
Included in the newly refiled lawsuit is every single communication between Baldoni and the B-list actress. And not just the two of them, also between Baldoni and her husband and other players like the trainer, the studio, and more.
Now, let's talk about Ryan Reynolds. If there's one thing we know about him, it's that he never holds back when it comes to defending his loved ones. Whether it's through sarcasm, sharp wit, or just straight up calling people out, Ryan always stands by Blake's side. And in this case, sources claim he wasn't having any of it.
Ryan Reynolds is reflecting on his relationship with his late father. Nearly 10 years after his father, James Chester Reynolds, died at the age of 74, Ryan, who shares kids James, Inez, Betty, and Olin with Blake Lively, is unpacking their dynamic. Ryan writes in an essay for People published on August 14th how his father's battle with Parkinson's disease affected their relationship. He says, quote, "I have to preface this with the fact that my father was a man who does not share his feelings. He was a present father, never missed a football game, but he just didn't have the capacity to feel, or at least share the full spectrum of human emotion a bit. And pride was just so ingrained in him that it dictated almost everything that he did."
I want to thank my wife, Blake, who is sitting right there, who is everything to me. You are the best thing that has ever happened to me. Second only to this star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Hollywood Walk of Fame. Cut me some slack.
According to Hollywood insiders, Ryan personally confronted Baldoni, issuing a stern warning that sent shockwaves through their circle. Some reports suggest that Ryan even threatened to expose some of Baldoni's own secrets if he didn't back off. While we don't know exactly what was said behind closed doors, one thing is certain: Ryan made it crystal clear that he would not tolerate any more remarks or actions that could harm Blake and her family.
And now I am his home, and our girls are his home. And just like that 19-year-old boy, he races home. Whether it's from across the globe or a meeting across the street, he is hardwired to get home. If he came home from set not in his wardrobe, we would be very concerned. Soaked in mud, fake blood, real blood, prosthetic scars, superhero suits, tap shoes, or clown makeup, Daddy always comes home. And that man races back to his real life like nothing I have ever seen. Especially not by someone who's able to be so all in his work life. He's able to somehow be everything to everyone all at once. He is the most present person you will ever meet. And yes, he creates magic in his work. But man, oh man, does he create magic in his real life. And my girlies, they know what I'm talking about, huh, JJ? Home is where his heart is, which is why he gives so much of his heart back to his home.
Fans have been deeply divided on this issue. Some believe Ryan Reynolds did the right thing by standing up for his wife, reinforcing his reputation as a devoted partner who doesn't shy away from confrontation when it comes to protecting his family. Others, however, argue that he may have taken things too far, with some interpreting his response as a veiled threat rather than a firm defense.
The 47-year-old actor, who was the youngest of 4 brothers and also son to Tammy Reynolds, explains that his father's inability to emote with him led to Ryan not quite understanding his father throughout his struggle with Parkinson's disease. He says, quote, "My father was really slipping down a rabbit hole, where he was struggling to differentiate between reality and fiction, and just stuff that was a wild departure from the man that I grew up with and knew." And while his father's disease contributed to their strained relationship, the Deadpool and Wolverine star also admits that he was partially to blame, sharing, quote, "It was very easy for me to dine off the idea that my father and I do not see eye to eye on anything and that an actual relationship with him is impossible. As I'm older now and I look back at it, I think of it more as that was my unwillingness at the time to meet him where he was. I could have maybe been there with him toward the end, and I wasn't. He and I just drifted apart, and that's something I'll live with forever."
But if there's one thing Ryan Reynolds is known for, it's his zero-tolerance policy for disrespect, especially when it concerns his loved ones. His strong protective nature may stem from his own experiences with loss, particularly regarding his late father, James Chester Reynolds. Ryan has been candid about their complicated relationship over the years, describing his father as both a tough and distant figure. However, before James' passing in 2015, the two found a way to reconcile, and Ryan has since honored his memory in various ways, including naming his and Blake's first daughter, James, after him.
Ryan concludes his personal essay by revealing he was able to get his own closure on the relationship by penning his father a letter prior to his death. The 47-year-old father of 4 goes on to explain how he's trying to break the cycle with his own parenting, adding, quote, "The healing for me really comes more through my relationship with my own kids, while taking some of the things from my father that are of immense value. To be able to get down on their level and just tell them that I believe them and that I'm here for them. I'm like, oh, okay, I just weirdly didn't mean to, but I fixed something with my own dad.
I want to live there. I love it so much. They serve you ice cream and lemons. And it's just magical."
To fully grasp the depth of this feud, it's essential to understand the profound bond between Blake Lively and her late father, Ernie Lively. A well-respected Hollywood actor, Ernie appeared in numerous films and TV shows, including The West Wing and The X-Files. But beyond his career, he was Blake's biggest champion. His unwavering support shaped her journey in the industry, and his passing left an irreplaceable void in her life.
This is my papa!
Hi. Hello, pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How much fun is it to sort of work together on a movie like this?
Well, how often do you get to do that? I mean, especially with, I've worked with a lot of beautiful women, none more pretty than this. And it's the most special thing you could ever imagine. It's the greatest home movie you could ever have, for sure.
I grew up watching him and going to his auditions and coaching him, and I never wanted to act, so it was nice. I was coaching him and picking out his outfits when I was like 5.
What do you think as an actress?
Oh my goodness, she's so good. I'm kind of scared when she walks into the room and we're in the scene. I don't want to mess up because she'll take me out and give me an acting lesson.
Blake has fiercely protected her father's legacy, even naming her hair care brand Blake Brown in his honor. Those close to her say she still finds it difficult to speak about him publicly, making it all the more painful when Justin Baldoni allegedly made comments that she perceived as disrespectful. The tension between them, however, isn't new. While working together on It Ends With Us, reports suggest their on-set dynamic has been strained, possibly due to Baldoni's directorial approach clashing with Blake's hands-on involvement in her projects.
I have a theory about the Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Justin drama, and not that it consumes my time, but I do have a theory. And many have been playing on the theory that this is all orchestrated by Ryan. And I believe that because this movie could have made Blake super famous, and we all know we love Scarlett more than we like Ryan. So what if he foresaw that she was going to do really well on this movie, and he immediately set out to sabotage her because things are going bad at home, and he did not want Scarlett Part 2 to happen. So he orchestrated all of this to turn the tables on Blake, thinking he wouldn't take the fall for it. And maybe, just maybe, Blake is a victim.
Not saying she's not going along with it, but maybe she's a victim. Just a theory. No big deal. It's not affecting my life any.
Adding fuel to the fire, Baldoni's father, Sam Baldoni, has now stepped into the spotlight, showing unwavering support for his son amid the legal battle with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. On March 5th, the 61-year-old film producer took to Instagram stories to post a video of a bulletin board displaying a pointed message, "In a world full of Blakes and Ryans, be a Justin." The post quickly caught attention, intensifying the already heated situation and further dividing public opinion. As the drama unfolds, several Hollywood stars have started weighing in on the situation. Hugh Jackman, a close friend of Ryan Reynolds, reportedly sided with Ryan, stating that he understands why Ryan would react so strongly in defense of his wife. Blake's bestie, Taylor Swift, has also subtly shown her support by liking a post that spoke about respecting people's personal grief and boundaries. Even Jennifer Garner, who previously worked with Baldoni, is said to have distanced herself from the controversy, choosing not to make any public statements.
The friend that I went with hadn't read the book. And for anyone who doesn't know, like, a majority of the book centers around this relationship that has some domestic violence and abuse within it. And she had said that if I hadn't told her that, from just like watching the trailer, from looking at Blake Lively's kind of like marketing that she's done where there was that video of her grab your friends, wear your florals, like come on down to the cinema, you would think it was just basically a love triangle, like rom-com.
Yeah.
Love-com. When in reality, there are obviously like lighter moments in it, but it's a pretty dark film.
Fans, however, remain split on whether Baldoni deserves all the backlash or if this is just a case of misunderstanding blown out of proportion. But let's be honest, Hollywood thrives on drama like this, and the media is having a field day covering every angle of the feud.
When you experience something that is life-altering, like DV or any type of abuse, it changes you and you have empathy for the abuse of others, for what others experience. And Blake Lively does not have that, never exhibited it at all in her behavior and how she approached the subject. She did not care enough about what, survivors may have experienced, what you experienced, to talk about it in a thoughtful and considerate way when she was promoting this movie. She made the movie promotion about herself, her expensive clothes and jewelry, her new brands that she was promoting, alcohol brand and the hair brand, the hair care brand. So not only do I make these videos because I have a bleeding heart and I imagine Justin Baldoni and his family and his wife being completely distraught because something that he spent so much time and energy on, years, was hijacked. He was basically extorted, pressured. And I just imagine this being the hardest thing he's ever lived through.
With tensions escalating, what does this mean for the future of It Ends With Us? Will the film still move forward smoothly, or will the tension between Blake and Baldoni create an awkward behind-the-scenes disaster?
This message is for Blake Lively and Blake Lively only, okay? So if you're not Blake, just keep it moving. Okay, Blake, here's the thing. All you have to do is just play Justin Baldoni's game. Share the text messages with other people talking about how you felt uncomfortable. Share the text with Taylor saying, girl, I don't know, this guy makes me feel like, not safe. If you're not sharing them, it's because it's what we think it all is. And the text to Taylor is like, oh my God, this guy is so fine. He makes me want to, you know what I mean? Like that's what we're thinking the text messages really are, which is why you're not disclosing them. But if you genuinely felt unsafe, share the text that you sent to your husband saying so. Share the ones that you sent to your mom. Share the ones that you shared to your bestie. I feel like just like take a step out of the playbook, and if it's really true, easy fix, just a suggestion, if they exist.
Additionally, how will this affect Justin Baldoni's reputation? While he's widely regarded as a kind and spiritual person in Hollywood, this controversy could significantly impact his credibility moving forward. As for Ryan and Blake, they are likely to continue their united front, with Ryan fiercely protecting his wife as always.
Ryan Reynolds is backing his wife Blake Lively 100%, but his claims on Justin Baldoni are being proved false where Justin Baldoni just exposed him. And in 2024, doing the movie Deadpool and Wolverine, Ryan Reynolds introduced the character of Nice Pool, saying it was his own creation. The character of Nice Pool had one interesting line where he was talking about the character Lady Deadpool, which was voiced by Blake Lively, saying she just had a baby but still looks good. And because of that, Blake Lively's It Ends With Us co-star Justin Baldoni has come out saying the character of Nice Pool was created just to make fun of him, and that line was used to bring up the idea that Justin Baldoni was critical of Blake Lively's post-pregnancy weight. Since that movie came out, nobody's been celebrating despite it making $351 million, with Blake Lively suing Justin Baldoni for sexual harassment and Ryan Reynolds supporting her. Now Justin Baldoni has come out against Ryan Reynolds, pointing out that Ryan Reynolds actually liked him throughout the entire process of filming and even texted Justin Baldoni at one point saying, "I just happen to adore you." Justin Baldoni's claim is that Ryan Reynolds actually loved Baldoni until Ryan Reynolds wanted to take over and do a rewrite of the script, which he wouldn't allow, and then after that point Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds turned on him. Because that, Justin Baldoni is suing Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds for $400 million. With that, I'm Charles Paul, please.
And that's the latest on Ryan Reynolds' savage warning to Justin Baldoni over Blake Lively's late father. But now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Ryan overreacted, or was he just being a supportive husband? Do you believe Baldoni's alleged claims, or do you think this is all being exaggerated by the media? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more jaw-dropping celebrity news. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.